Welcome back, children. Now, as we have ended irrigation, one very important thing which we have to discuss is how water is conserved. Now, whenever it rains, water flows on the land, and ultimately this water gets collected in a pond, in a pool, or it seeps through the soil and goes underground. It has been found that many thin streams are there. In the village areas, you will find that these streams automatically get created during the monsoon season, and a lot of water runs through these streams, and finally it joins some river. Now, people has tried to stop this water for some time by building check dams. Check dams are nothing. They are a barrier to the normal flow of water. They make a wall, right, across the stream. Small walls at some gap throughout the entire width of the stream. Now what will happen? As water flows with great speed, it will strike these walls, it will have to stop for some time, and during that time it will seep underground. So these small walls, they are called as check dams, which helps in underground seepage of water. So these are various techniques which has been indigenously developed by the farmers of our country to conserve the water so that it can be used at the time of scarcity, at the time of need. Now, after this irrigation, we come to the fourth point, that is using manures and chemical fertilizers. Now children, there is a difference between manure and chemical fertilizer. Manure is generally made by the farmers themselves, either at home or in the farmland. For making manure, they use either vegetable matter or the remnants of the sheds of cows, the decomposing plants, leaves, straw, hay, including cow dung. So this manure is made by digging a big hole in the ground. It is filled with all sorts of decomposing organic matter like vegetable matter, plant matter, cow dung, etc. And then it is covered with big leaves. After covering it with big leaves, after the pit, hole means the pit, after the pit gets filled with this decomposing material, these organic substances, it is covered with big leaves, and then a very thin layer of soil or mud is applied. It is left there for 1.5 to 3 months. After that, it is again dug out. As it is dug out, a blackish brown decomposing material comes out. Then this is spread all across the field. Okay? And then plowing is done. Sometimes, in place of manure, chemical fertilizers are used. Now these are mainly chemicals which are made in factory. 3 different types of fertilizers are there. N, P, K. N stands for nitrogen or nitrogenous fertilizer. P stands for phosphatic fertilizer, and K stands for potash fertilizer, means potassium. So depending upon what type of nutrient is scarce in the soil, a specific type of fertilizer is used in that type of soil. So from here you come to know that first of all fertilizers are made in factories, whereas manure can be made domestically. Secondly, fertilizers are nutrient specific. Nutrient specific means it will supply that nutrient which is less in quantity in the soil. If nitrogenous nutrient is less, if the nutrient nitrogen as a nutrient is less in the soil, then nitrogenous fertilizer will be used. If phosphorus content is less in the soil, then phosphatic fertilizer will be used. If potassium is less in the soil, then potash fertilizer will be used. On the other hand, manure is not so. Manure gives all types of nutrients together. Moreover, manure also increases the water retaining capacity of the soil, whereas fertilizers are mostly they are itself water soluble. They dissolve in water, and as they dissolve, when the roots absorb the water, along with the water it also absorbs the fertilizer, which helps in increasing the yield. So these are some differences between manure and fertilizer. Okay, manure is required in bulk, means in huge quantity, whereas fertilizer is required in small quantity. One very important point regarding use of manure and fertilizer is, if excess fertilizer is used, it is bad for the soil. It may make the soil totally infertile in future. It increases manure, on the other hand, will never make the soil infertile. Rather, it increases the fertility of the soil. It is sustainable, means you can continuously use manure generation after generation without affecting the chemical composition of the land. Whereas, in case of fertilizer, if excess fertilizer is used, either the soil will become alkaline or the soil will become acidic, thereby rendering the soil totally unproductive. It will make the soil unproductive or infertile. So, you can understand, using fertilizer is both advantageous as well as disadvantageous. That is why whenever a farmer uses chemical fertilizer, he uses it very, very judiciously. How much quantity has to be used, in how much area of the soil, everything has to be kept in mind before using chemical fertilizer. Whereas, for using manure, such type of precaution is not at all required. Okay, children? So, we'll go through the next part in our next class. Thank you.